Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the one and only voice of the Valley. As your host and commentator, Charles P. Taylor III. It's an honor to be in your presence and your archive of memorabilia. Located at Graham's Shoes at 202 Arch Avenue in Waynesboro, Virginia, where we will be speaking live, and I say live, with owner and operator, my friend, Mr. David Young, otherwise known as the Singing Cobbler. So, let's get down to business, all right? How long have you been here, my brother?
About 400 years. 32 years.
Okay. I like that. And David, just how did you get started with this empire?
Well, I was fortunate to work for the great Muhammad Ali, and I just kept property across the mountain. I mowed the yard and trimmed the shrubs and things. My wife cleaned his house and did that for about 3 years, and then I learned that he was going to be moving back to Michigan to the farm, and I didn't know what I was going to do because I couldn't imagine working for somebody else. And so I just went to him and I asked him. I said, "Man, what's the person supposed to do after working for a person like you?"
Mm-hmm.
And
that's interesting.
He never hesitated. He just said, "You must work for yourself." Well, he gave me this kitchen table. That's Muhammad Ali, in case you can't tell it. And he gave me this kitchen table. When they brought it over, him and a helper of his brought that over to my house and set it up. And then he sat down at the table and was signing this little picture here, which is up on the wall over there. It's signed to me and my wife and my daughter. It says thanks for looking after things for us. And so I said, I'm not sure that my friends will believe that you really signed this. And he said, well, his helper there went out to the vehicle and got that camera up there, that Polaroid camera. And I took the picture of him, and then he gave me the picture and the camera. So there it is. Sure enough, about 2 weeks later, my mom called me and said there was a help wanted sign in the shoe shop window. And I walked in and just sort of acted like Ali. I took the sign out the window. I laid it on the counter. I said, "I'm here. You don't need this sign anymore." And they said, "So you know how to fix shoes?" And I said, "No, but I can learn." And they said, "Okay." And I went to the library and got old books. The best one was from the 1930s. It was a high school book on shoe repair. And the trade really hasn't changed that much. And I learned the nature of leather and the nature of a stitch and different things like that. And I worked for minimum wage at that time. I was 38. We had a little baby. And then after a little while, I worked for minimum wage and 30%. And then, to be honest with you, probably the dumbest song I ever wrote, it got me a few, it's called song royalties.
Yes.
From BMI. And I made enough royalties off of You Only Love Me When You're Drunk.
That's right.
It made the down payment on the shop and several months' rent.
Excellent.
And it went from there. And
So, answer me a question. Not to cut you off, because now you got me all fascinated. So, for all of us in our world today, what has kept you motivated to keep pursuing this adventure? I'm going to say it's an adventure because it has been what a fantastic.
Oh, it's an adventure.
Yes.
Well, the biggest motivation, I guess, is I like the idea of working for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And especially at something rather unique.
Mm-hmm.
I like fixing leather things and working with the public.
Mm-hmm. So you fulfilling what we call, quote unquote, as I accomplish, the American dream.
I reckon so.
The American dream.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that must be it.
Yes. This kind of business, to be truthful about it, is becoming extinct. And I just wonder, what would be your legacy, my brother David?
Legacy.
I don't think about that now, because there's not that many of us that's going to be leaving too many legacies.
Not good ones. Anyway.
That's right.
Well, I would hope my legacy would be that I kept it going as long as I could. Mm-hmm. Did a good job at it. And I had a lot of fun, too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, what do you dedicate this achievement to? Because talk to us a little bit about. You said your mother was an influenced tremendously.
Well, I talked a little bit about Ali before, and I'd have to say I give credit to him for a lot of inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly, though, I give credit to my mom.
Mm.
That's my mom. She's about 3 years old with her little puppy dog there. And this is my mom when she was 18 years old.
Mm.
There she is, a pretty girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I would give credit to my mom because she believed in me no matter what I did. I'm a writer and a cobbler, and I've been fortunate to do both those things.
Mm. In our society today, a lot of our young people today can't seem to find out what their gifts are or how they could find their gifts. And my question to my brother, the cobbler, is if there was someone that was interested in wanting to learn this craft, and I know what you're going to say, but I want to hear you say it so that the audience can understand what it is to be under an apprenticeship.
Well, first of all, you got to want to work with your hands. Mm. That's for sure.
Mm, that's a good point.
And working with the people, you got to want to work with your mind and your heart.
That's a good point.
But the motivation, you'd have to be willing to come in and watch and just ask a whole bunch of questions.
Mm.
Because if you ain't asking no questions, it's probably not going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
But just to watch and but I can tell you right now, if you're in it for the money, just get out now.
That's right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But you got to be willing to watch and learn, and you might have to borrow money from Grandpa to help you through the internship, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And then once you start catching on, then and you still got the drive to do it, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that you can do pretty much anything you want to do.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So about your daughter, I want to give her some kudos here because if you don't mind, because that's such a blessing.
I love talking about my daughter.
It's a blessing in disguise.
She came in here when she was 6 years old, and when she wasn't in school, she worked in here, and I set up a milk crate, one of them plastic milk crates over there behind the register, and I covered the numbers up, the electric numbers up there with a postcard. It still covers it. And I had her standing up there and counting change back to people, which nobody does anymore. Whether they're young or older, like nobody counts change back. But I had her in here counting change back when she was 6 years old. And she went on to learn the trade. She learned how to run that machine up there and some of the machines back there. And she really learned well how to work with the public. And she worked with the Appalachian Trail hikers. She was an amazing person. She sewed all the patches on all the bikers' jackets and all the police stuff and all that stuff.
Wow.
And she worked here until she was 30. When she unfortunately she passed away. And but she got us recognized. I got to tell you this. She answered the phone a lot in here because I didn't answer the phone much. And she always answered the phone. And one day she picked up the phone and she said, yes, he's here. Hold, please. And she put her hand over the receiver and she said, she handed me the phone. She said, you be nice. And it was representatives of the National Endowment for the Arts.
Yeah. Yes.
And we were inducted into the Virginia Folklife Foundation. She and I, as the only ones ever inducted, and we still are. And that consequently got us recognized by the National Endowment for the Arts. I hand it all to her.
Thank you, Chief. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, we're going to go real quick here. This here is from the news leader in Stanton, and that is my daughter and me, and this is an article about the Appalachian Trail. This here shop is the biggest shop it's the only shoe shop on the trail, and Waynesboro is the biggest town in the whole Appalachian Trail, and that's me and my daughter working on hikers things right there. And then, of course, you come over here, and you got hubba. There's Elvis Presley hanging on the wall right there. There is Elvis Presley. Okay, man. And we're moving up here to, this is a painting. It's oil on cardboard. That is my grandfather's painting. He did that in 1915 when he was 15 years old. Moving on down here, my grandpa did that, the pink dogwoods, in about 1945 or 46. This one here in 1951. Then he did this one here in about 1940. That's the Elk River in West Virginia. And then we go down through here in a quick sweep. All the rest of these paintings down through here are my brother Jerry's. He is still a painter, and he is a Beachy Amish minister. And this is my great-grandmother's dresser right here with pictures, and all this is family goods here. Here's great-grandma's snuff box right there. There you go, man. There you go, right there. Now, we're going to move on over here to this food table. This is called Yvonne's Food Table. Because one day, a lady came in years ago, 15 years ago. She's pushing a baby carriage. Had a little plastic baby in the carriage that she was talking to. And she apologized because she didn't have any shoe repair, but did we have something that she could eat? And my daughter kind of flipped out. She couldn't believe that somebody was looking for food. And so that evening, my daughter went out to Sharp Shopper and bought enough food to fill this table up. And we kept it, food on this table ever since. And that's why it's called Yvonne's table. And when she passed away, I nearly gave it up. But then I thought, no, I better keep that thing going. So I do. This is Aunt Clara's wheelchair. She sat in that from 1899 to 1965. Her father designed it and had it custom made for her. You crank it like this. It still works. I try to crank it every now and then, and I give up after about 2 feet because it's too darn hard. But she had scarlet fever, which is what killed Beth in the book Little Women. And it crossed her legs. It made them turn like that for her whole life. But she sat in that. She was our hometown telephone operator. There she is right there. From 1917 to 1962. She answered the phone in our hometown. And this, going right on down through here, all these telephones here, I collect them because they're in chronological order. This is my great-grandpa's phone. This is Aunt Clara's phone from 1912. And a bunch of phones is because she worked for the phone company and she loved the phone company. And this here is kind of my daughter's little shrine here. It says right here, Cobbler, Master Artist, Apprentice. This was back when she was an apprentice. She became a real cobbler. But there's pictures of her, all kinds of pictures. Lots of people took pictures of her because she was such a pretty girl. And this one here is called Pictures from Life's Other Side. That's me taking a picture of her, taking a picture of me. And so there you go, Yvonne, my sweetheart. There she is again. Right there, there she is, shining Santa shoes. Doggone, somebody got to sign them things. Now we walk right through here, real quick. Oh, here's this picture of Muhammad Ali I told you about earlier. It's signed to me and my wife and my daughter. Said, thanks for looking after things for me. There's Muhammad Ali getting ready to knock out the Beatles. Here we go, right on through here. And we are now a whole bunch of stuff. You got Elvis Presley and Bob Dylan. There's the great Bill Monroe, which is a signed picture by him for me. And you got everybody from Elvis and Dylan to Mickey Mouse in there. There's all kinds of little toys there. There's the Three Stooges. Whoop, 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 whoop. And this one here, going up through here, these are paintings by my daughter. That one up there, she gave me that for my birthday. It says, no crack ever, I promise. Okay? And this here, just a little sailboat. And then you remember we used to catch, what do you call it? I forget the bug. It's, anyway, it's on a string. And it would fly around and stuff. I forget what they call that thing. And this here is the Buddha by my daughter. She made that for me for my birthday. And this here is a fantastic picture taken by the great Kendra Ogzuela with spam on her head. That's the kind of spam we like there. And this here, lastly, this is a picture of myself and my daughter in the shoe shop here. This was taken by the great photojournalist Pat Jarrett. And that picture made the London Times. So thank you very much. That's it.
And in the future, we're going to get even in more depth with my brother, the Cobbler. And so we're going to say goodbye for now. And we shall see you soon. So I say again, open an eye, clear ear, get a pen and a pad, and wait for the next episode. I look forward to seeing you. Stay blessed.